Yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that you're having a hard time growing a red robin hedge. They do take a bit of work, and look, they even take work in a nursery setting, getting it into, say, a 40 to 50 centimetre plant. There is a good bit of work in them, but the biggest bulk of the work and the biggest piece of advice I can give you is don't be afraid to cut them back. So what happens is the red robins throw out a bit of growth, and it's like you have a long clear stem, and if you have a couple of leaves at the end of it, you need to be going in and cutting that right back. That's the problem, is that the red robin grows up, it gets top heavy, and that the leaves are up the top, and it kind of falls over and wilts, and then it just throws out a long leg of stuff, and that's not worth shy to you. That's not going to give you a bushy hedge, so you need to be cutting that right back. Another point I'm going to say to you, red robins is never really going to give you an exactly bushy private hedge. If you're putting in that red robin for privacy or screening, it's not the best thing. It's not the best option to go with in a hedge. Something like a Portuguese laurels or a common laurel, or even a privet or something like that would be a better option for you. The other thing I'm going to say to you is make sure it's in a site that it likes, as in it's not in a very exposed site. If wind is an issue, it's definitely going to struggle in the wind. It's going to lose that vibrancy in the red as well, so it needs to be in a nice sheltered spot if you can at all. And I know you're saying it's 2 years old, maybe a wind barrier or something would be a benefit and help it get started. And the last thing I'm going to say to you is make sure you're giving it a nice decent feed over the summer months. So from the end of April into May, across the growing season into October, you could go with something like a chicken manure pellet or even a liquid seaweed feed or something like that. But yeah, red robins, they're hard to get going. They're lovely, they're bright, they're gorgeous looking, but they are hard to get going, and they have to be, realistically, for the first 2 or 3 years, to get a nice decent hedge over a red robin, you're going to have to be constantly tipping it back, cutting it back, and making sure it gets volume and bushiness in the base of it. If you have any other concerns about that red robin hedge, WhatsApp, send me over a picture on WhatsApp, 085 77 62 63 4.